I greet you once again, dear students. This is Peko Virtual School. We are going to start the entrepreneurship, and the teacher today is Mr. Ivan. So our topic is business ideas. This is the response of a person on an organization to solving an identified problem of the community, or to the community, or to meet perceived needs in the environment. What does this mean? That no one should ever start a business that is not intended to solve a problem to the community. Once you start such a business, you'll have started it for yourself. And if by bad luck, even yourself, you're not interested, you have no problem to solve with the items you're going to sell, then you'll have wasted more time. Let me just give you an example. This is a period of COVID, when we had just started the lockdown, the initial stages. Everyone was home, meaning that the only essential need was food, not clothing, because we normally have clothes to put on at home. But whether we have to stay home, or we have to go to work, or we have to go to school, we have to visit, feeding must be a requirement. So if you have started business and you are developing business ideas in such a situation, can you go in for a business that is dealing in leisure or recreational facilities? Can you do luxury products? You do essential. So what does that mean? You have identified a problem of the community, and you've realized this community needs a solution to that problem. Remember, in the initial stages of lockdown, prices for foodstuffs had hiked. What would be the solution of such? Open up a shop, sell at a relatively low price, such that as the other usual sellers are getting out of business by having their customers migrate from them to you, the upcoming ones, for you are booming, and by the end of COVID you may have a very steady base, as in consumer potential base. Anyway, let us define a business idea in another perspective. A business idea is a thought or concept which can transform into a commercial activity, which if implemented can create wealth and even a livelihood for the initiator, definitely, that is the proprietor or the owner. So you start with an initiative to provide a service, but in the long run the reason is to profit, because you cannot feel for others, but when you don't have any feeling for yourself, that is not fair. So maybe let us talk about the business ideas in Uganda. Some of the businesses I would do educate you about, such that in case, for example, lockdown is to continue and you want to start, yes, because some of you have time, you can start business even at home, and by the time you come back to senior one in our next period or next term, you'll be able to facilitate yourself with at least pocket money or even school fees, because we are teaching business and the best way to benefit is by practicing. So these are some of the business ideas, and once you realize that there is one that you can start, please don't feel offended to ask your parent to support you. That's one way of keeping yourself busy productively, but when you're going to earn as well. I will take you back slightly by informing you that a business idea is not what you normally see, what people tell you about it, but it is a field. Business idea generation is a process. You don't just come up with a business and say, let me do poultry. No. Once you get interested in doing business, you must do what we call brainstorming. You list down all the businesses that can be done in that given community, basing on the community needs. Then you look at your talents vis-a-vis capacity in terms of finance and potential customers. That's what we call feasibility and viability of the business. So I'm going to give you also the list of the common businesses, and then you see which one can give you a better opportunity. Number one, we have restaurants. I'm not going to talk about these businesses in depth by, for example, telling you what is required to start a restaurant, but I'm just going to list down the various businesses, and maybe you'll go into the depth of that particular business you feel you may be interested in. You can even advise a parent, because some of your parents have the money to start these businesses, especially businesses at home, but they think they can't be done without their presence. Once you're taught and you realize for you can do it, then you will be of help to them, and of course the two of you will earn from such a business in future. So number two, we have saloon. 3, we have car washing. 4, we have fruit centers. 5, juice centers. 6, mini supermarkets. 7, we have kiosks. We have ice cream centers. We have meat, chicken, goat roasting. We have dry cleaning. Here you just have to know how to iron, and you start business in your community. But you can't know how to iron when you don't know how to wash. So that is the first step. We have boutiques. We have retail shops. Many people think of retail shops or retailing, but all the above are businesses, and they even require much more less capital in relation to these other ones. Then we have making chapati or pancakes, Rolex. I think you all enjoy this. It is better you start such a business which you know that what it produces you also enjoy. This is what I'm trying to say. The community has a problem. It needs chapati. They are few. All the ones present are not of quality. For you know how to bake them. Why don't you make them for the community, and those that may fail to be consumed, you consume them yourself, because you are also a consumer, and in fact I told you must be the first consumer of the products you want to deal in. For example, if I take you back to a retail shop, why would you stock a lot of things that can rot so fast? For example, bread. If you are to deal in bread, bring those loaves that can be consumed within a given time, and those that remain, give them a deadline. Once not consumed, take them home and your colleagues will eat them, such that you spare the money that would have been used to purchase such for home use. Maybe another one is secretarial bureaus. For this, it requires, of course, some technical know-how from the computer department. You need to know how to type, and I believe once you know how to type, you can do such a business of secretarial. It is secretarial duties, secretarial duties or secretarial bureau, where you can do stuff like editing for people, printing, typing for them, and so many others. We have shoe shining. This is, I think, a very rare business, but people do it. Then in school, you can do this. There is what they call school egg primary or secondary or kindergarten. So this one is not for you, because by now you can't do anything like schools are down. 2, you have no technical know-how to deal in schools, but maybe your parents can. Then the other one is milk selling. So many others, as you'll see once we move on. Then we have the importance of generating business ideas. I told you business idea generation is a process. So these are the steps. 1, it enables, these are the importances. 1, it enables club members or entrepreneurs to have a successful business venture, both to start a business and to stay competitive afterwards. Then it enables club members to respond to market, or entrepreneurs to respond to market needs. Then another one is it enables club members to respond to natural threats and scarcities, like by availing water, for example, needed by the community through harvesting rainwater, that at the same time minimizes water and scarcity. Then it helps a business to make profits, hence the business growth. Equally, a business needs to make profits so as to meet its ethical obligations to the company, its employees, the authorities, and customers. Then another one is that it builds the image of reliability and establishes reputation with the customers. It helps the members to respond to market demands or needs by identifying goods or services needed by the customers in the current market. It helps the club members to match changing fashions and requirements as the project will appropriate respond to current customers demands with new ideas, products and services. It helps the business to stay ahead of the current competition in the market by offering new ideas, products or services that can match competition. It helps the business club to select appropriate technology to do things better and thus attract more customers. It helps the business to spread its risks and allow for project failure that is at about 80% by generating new ideas from time to time. So I'm sorry, but the question was supposed to come before. Let me just read it for you. It wasn't typed, but for the above answers, like the way I have been answering, I was answering importances of generating business ideas. But the question would have been, if you are operating a business as an individual or as a club, because here we assume you are young and you don't have enough capital. That's why most of my questions will rotate around you doing businesses in the form of clubs, and my questions will always be close to things like you are operating a business as a club. And that's why you see my answers as more concerned with club members did this, but you can even do it as an individual. And this new curriculum of Senior 1 requires you guys to always understand the way the question has been asked, such that you can still answer it basing on the way the question has been asked. Like for the above, it is in line with you operating the business as a group or as an individual. Okay, let us talk about the sources of business ideas for schools. For example, one, there are many sources that can be used by, for example, business club members to search for business ideas, and these include: 1, newspapers. You can get business ideas from newspapers. Club members can get business ideas from the newspapers in Uganda. Like we have local newspapers including Bouquet, The New Vision, Daily Monitor, and so many others. Magazines and articles. Club members can look for article descriptions or describing new types of businesses, hence generating business ideas. We have hobbies. These are the activities performed pleasure, yes, and the relaxation, and they are forms of sources of business ideas for new enterprises, e.g. dancing, singing, etc. Trade shows and exhibitions. Attending trade shows and exhibitions sponsored by government departments, manufacturers with ideas. Attending trade shows and exhibitions sponsored by government departments, manufacturers give ideas to new entrepreneurs, e.g. WUMA and UFA. Then survey. New business ideas can be identified by finding out what consumers need and what this can be done through issuing questionnaires to consumers or customers, and conducting interviews with people. Television. Club members can also watch televisions and identify business ideas, e.g. by responding to supply the product needed by a person who has made announcements on the TV. Internet. Searching through the internet can also help club members find business ideas for the school business club. Brainstorming. Brainstorming is a technique used to solve a problem by generating as many ideas as possible and then closing the most appropriate one and choosing the most appropriate one and solve the problem. Franchisee is a special right given by a manufacturer or sole distributor to a person or business to sell goods or services of the manufacturer. A business club can also make arrangements or contract with the producer to the producer's product. Of course, to promote the producer's product, that is a missing word. Dear students, allow me to still remind you about what I told you earlier, that in our new curriculum we are so much dwelling on projects. Yes, there is that element of project in our new curriculum. That's why you are seeing me talking about business clubs, but this does not imply that these answers only apply for business clubs. You can remove the word club members and then the same point is applied in another perspective where the question is not asking about club members, for example. So now let us look at the rules for brainstorming for business ideas. Members shall select a leader to take control of the brainstorming exercise when generating business ideas. I told you that business ideas come as a result of a given process. You don't just wake up a given day and start saying, I'm going to do such and such a business. You can first of all list down a given number of businesses, just as I did for you, and then later you choose the best. And in the process of choosing the best, these are the rules you're supposed to follow. Number 2, members' ideas shall or should not be criticized by the other members in order to allow members to freely give their ideas. Each business idea presented shall be properly recorded down by the secretary as the ideas keep coming or flowing from members. Brainstormers shall be encouraged to come up with a wide range of business ideas from the business members. Then the brainstormers shall generate as many businesses or as many business ideas as possible in order to change developing a good idea that can be identified and selected for implementation. Members shall combine together during the brainstorming to try and improve a business idea presented by a member, in addition to giving their individual ideas. The ideas recorded down shall be carefully studied, evaluated, and even modified where necessary at a later date, agreed upon and not on the day of brainstorming, so as to improve creative thinking by the members. The members shall identify and select one or more business ideas that are profitable and can easily be turned into a project, to a club project. Okay, so let us talk about how the business club members can identify business ideas from the environment. By the club members looking at their personal interests and recording down the business ideas basing on personal interests. By taking notes of the various problems that the club members encounter in everyday life and turning these identified problems into business ideas. By scanning the daily newspapers to search for and identify good business ideas. By listening to people's talks and observing what goes around the club members, so as to identify business ideas or business opportunities. By searching for new ideas from unusual situations like traveling, talking to different people in order to generate business ideas. Through brainstorming by the club members, generating business ideas while setting a deadline for the exercise. I think that can be enough with that. So business club members can research for a business idea in the various steps. So we can talk about the steps followed by members to research a business idea. These are the steps. Number 1, starting from the idea stage through identifying a business idea from one or more listed ideas, then gathering related information on the business idea, like from newspapers, the internet, etc., to assess the viability of the business. Analyzing the business idea by looking at it from 4 perspectives, that is business or company, then customer, that is purchasers, then competitors, then collaborators, media associations, etc. Checking out the competition by identifying the major competitors, talking to their customers and asking for the customers' opinions about the rivals. Fine-tuning a business idea that seems like a floppy by doing more research. uh, going ahead with the business idea that has high chances of succeeding through preparing a budget for implementation of the idea. So, dear students, allow me to end at that, and we shall meet again. We are going to send you the activity in form of assignments. Please stay well, and may God bless you.